Well, hello into people, how are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well, and today we're here to talk about, can autistic people feel lonely? Now this is something that I feel has a little bit of a misconception, and really this video is really to explain why autistic people might feel lonely, but also to give some advice to you guys, because this is something that is a part of my autism that I don't really talk about because it's a personal thing. Even though it's a personal thing, I still want to try and help you guys through this video, just talking about it. But if you're brand new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit that notification bell, just so you don't miss out on any videos. Okay, so can autistic people feel lonely? Absolutely. This is something I feel is a massive misconception in a way, that autistic people don't feel loneliness. We do feel loneliness. I think it's just not something that is often talked about. For me personally, I do like doing my own thing. I do like my own company a lot of the time. However, I also like going out. I like seeing people. It's good to be social because not only does it just keep my social communication on point, but it also gives me a chance to connect with other people, find out things that I didn't necessarily know before. You know, it just helps me better understand the world around me, and also it's just nice catching up with friends, catching up with family and stuff like that. But even though I'm spending time with people that I know, so like friends, family, all the rest of it, I still feel lonely sometimes, and I don't know whether this is a me thing, because it is me after all, but really the reason why autistic people feel lonely sometimes is because of communication difficulties. You know, someone might not be able to understand what the other person's saying in a social situation, or they just find social communication difficult. Like, sometimes I find it quite difficult, I'll be honest. It's difficult trying to put yourself out there, just busy environments and stuff like that, like the general hustle and bustle of the outside world. It can be a scary place. And when I'm out with friends, sometimes I do feel a bit lonely because I don't know how to approach certain topics. For example, like if it's not something I really know, I just don't really say anything because it's a little bit weird, me trying to talk about something that I don't really know much about. If it's something that interests me, then I'll ask more about it, but sometimes if it's something that I just don't know, it just goes completely over my head. And this makes me feel lonely because it's something that I would really love to be able to do more, you know, just be able to instantaneously pick up a topic even though it's not something I know anything. It confuses me really how some people are able just to pick a topic up and just say, oh yeah, I did this, you know what I mean? Another reason is sensory. Now when I'm out with my friends, 9 times out of 10, the main sense that really bothers me is audio. I pick everything up. I can't filter it, and when I'm trying to talk to someone or I'm trying to listen to them, there'll be stuff going on all around me, and I have to put in so much concentration to be able to listen to a person talk or be able to direct my thoughts or when I'm speaking and stuff. You know, it takes a lot. But in the past, I used to avoid certain situations because I just couldn't cope with it. Even today, if I know we're going to go to like a loud place where I'm not going to be able to talk to people, I just don't go because I know that I'm not going to have a good time out of it. Now, a couple more reasons I've got, and these do interlink. Difficulty making friends and feeling unrelatable to others. For me, when I'm talking to people, sometimes I just don't relate to what they're talking about or how they're feeling, but I try my best to understand their position from where they are coming from. But sometimes, you know, if you're not experiencing it in that moment, it's hard to understand that, if that makes sense. Like, I can understand how they're feeling, but at the same time, it's like, I can't understand how they're feeling in that moment, if that makes sense. And then making friends, it's just one of those things, you know, it depends on the place and the time, and friends don't fall out of the sky, unfortunately, you know, and it's just, it can be hard. I'll be honest, it can be hard to meet people who share your values, who share your interests, share things that you personally like or have attributes that you like. So those are some examples of why autistic people may feel lonely. There's probably other reasons. If you have another reason, let me know down below. And why don't we all help each other down below in the comments as I go into the advice part of the video and just give you guys some tips that I think have really helped me, and I do hope they will help you as well. Now, I've been there a few times where I've, felt really enclosed. But if you have someone that you trust, say a family member or a friend, talking to someone that you can trust can really help. It doesn't necessarily have to be a family member or a friend. It could be a support worker, a teacher, something like that. I mean, take me for example. I tend to talk about a lot of my personal feelings about things to my fiance, for example, and then going down from there, it'll be my best friends and they know who they are. Sometimes I'll say, look, I'm not feeling great, can I just talk to you for a bit? And they'll just say, yeah, why not? And because I've had that conversation with that person that I trust, it lifts my spirits, it makes me more positive, it makes me very happy, and that was really cringy, I'm really sorry. It just really helps get those feelings out there, and I don't know, it's just something to think about. Another thing that's really helped me is finding a community. Now, it can be a community online, such as this channel, or even out in the community. So for example, I'm in a Facebook group for small creators, and because they're doing YouTubey stuff and I'm doing YouTubey stuff, it's quite good just talking about YouTubey stuff. And depending on how those conversations go, you actually might make a friend out of it, and I've made quite a few friends through communicating online to people. But it's not just Facebook though, there's Twitter. Reddit actually has quite a few good subreddits for autistic people. Another bit of advice that has really helped me is to identify the reason for your loneliness. Is it because you're not going out of the house? If that's the case, what can you do to improve that? What steps can you take to improve that over time? The reason I'm giving that advice, identifying the reason why you're lonely, we often think really quickly and, get ahead of ourselves. And often we can get ourselves trapped in a pit or in a net. We can get ourselves trapped, and often it's quite hard to figure out the reason how we got there in the first place. So by identifying that reason and trying to think of ways to resolve it can really help. And then if it's appropriate for you, if it's something you have been considering or something you want to explore more, maybe consider looking into therapy. Talking to someone one-on-one can actually make the whole situation feel a little less clouded sometimes. And the reason why talking to a stranger is kind of helpful is because they don't have an opinion of you, they don't know you, and really having someone there who can just talk through your feelings from an objective point of view can really help. Just for an example, I rang Samaritans a few weeks ago. It was semi to do with loneliness along with other feelings that I've been having, and we just talked things through, and it just gave me a lot of ideas, and it really helped actually talking to someone who I didn't know, and it made me feel a lot happier. So really, objective opinion can actually be a really good thing. Do you have any advice for anyone who is going through loneliness? If you're feeling comfortable, maybe you want to share your own experiences with loneliness, that would be really, really fantastic. But for now, if you enjoyed this video, then give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, turn on that notification bell. Stay you, stay indie. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you all very soon. See you later, guys.